way back in the day. I always forget like what stuff is on, you know, like the assets directory or the, you know, the old wherever that stuff came from, where it's like all these old photos and like reference and stuff that I had that's up on a server somewhere. It's kind of like what the characters looked like 10 or 15 years ago. But that'd be interesting. That'd be fun, like a you know, I mentioned it'd be fun to start doing kind of different spins on the characters, or like slightly different modded variations, you know, with slightly different color schemes or something. So it could be cool to have like an OG spaz with like original like non-googly eyes look, where it's like everything's clay. Oh yeah, something I was sketching around is some sort of like night variation of spaz. I wonder if I still have those sketches. I mean, I have a sketchbook here. Maybe it's, I don't know if it's in this. Or maybe this isn't our school, so someone had so many old like sketchbooks and notepads and things like that. So I'm not sure how long got just thrown out. This one seems to be just a bunch of random sketches. There's some stuff I was gonna like zombie stuff in there, but zombie idea sketches. But yep, nothing too much. I'll check the closets. Oh, there wasn't much to see. It was mostly, actually, most of that was just like technical purple. Where'd it go? Oh, actually, there is this. This must actually be a really old sketchbook. There is this from. This was a map design from like the original like pre-clay Bombsquad. So this must be a really old drawing. Oh wait, no. Oh yeah. This was Tip Top before Tip Top. So you may see this in like an old screenshot, or like, yeah, it was in like the pre 1.0 version of the game, where like I said, like before everything was clay and stuff. You know, super early Bombsquad. So this was like 0.4 or something like that. You know, back when it was still very much just like Bomberman looking. So you can see like that's actually the same UI system. It's just like before it was like skinned to have like clay look and stuff like that. But it's definitely a. I don't know what font that was. I don't remember. But yeah, goofy looking cursor, different. You can see like some of the original UIs are in here in like very like primitive old form. The credit screen actually probably still is kind of the same. Old school scroll bars with buttons on them. I think I have that one somewhere. Let me look. Spheres, and then their arms and legs were just like animated, so they're just kind of like goofy looking. So I believe you can see that sound is still the same. There we go. So yeah, here's that what I showed you in my sketchbook. This was kind of like the original like Tip Top sort of map. So it was kind of a cool looking game, but it definitely like it had a different look to it. It was more like less clay and more just kind of sketchy. Yeah, that was, I guess, Spaz 1.0. Spaz 1.0. And Mel back in the day. This one's actually Todd, that's my brother, I just made a character for him. So yeah, this was it. You can see some of the power-ups are still there. There's Punch Power-Up. Oh yeah, there's like a +1 bomb, because again, this was more like original Bomberman, where you just like get more bombs, or you know, basically like keep powering up more and more. So yeah, ice bombs were still there. There was the speed power up, so you could basically just get more speed. Eventually, it became impossible to control your dude because he would just run off a cliff. But yeah, all these were additive, which was kind of interesting, but it completely like broke the game dynamic at some point. You know, like a person would get like 10 speed power ups and then it would just like fly off the level, which was, you know, it's funny, but it wasn't especially like well balanced or anything like that. So the reason I dumped speed boots is. Yeah, basically because it, like when I added run, then it kind of like made speed boots, yeah, like almost bad because unnecessary and almost bad because, you know, speed boots basically made it impossible to control your character. Like on some of the, especially some like Zigzag. I know nobody likes Zigzag and we should get rid of it at some point, but you know, if you had speed boots on Zigzag, it would be like impossible. But it could, I don't know, it could be interesting in like a limited game mode if you, you know, maybe had particular maps that are designed for that or something. Let's see what this is. There was an original version of like the two sports, like football and hockey, were both in here in original. Oh yeah, yeah. So there's original football. Very kind of simplified looking, but basically the same thing. Yeah, the maps did look bad. What else was there? But again, this was like back in the day where it was literally the game was just to like play with my friends and stuff. So it's like I didn't spend a ton of time on the maps. What is this one? Oh yeah, this was like the original map I made, which was way too big. Yeah, like you could go up these ramps and go around the edges. Like that was one thing I discovered really early is like don't make big maps because it's like if two people went to the opposite corners, like the camera would zoom out so much to where it's just completely unplayable. And there was all these little like cool overhangs and stuff that didn't really serve any purpose. So it was it was a fun little experiment in learning, you know, like what makes an interesting map. I thought like, oh, I'll make this little place where people can hang out here and throw bombs, but like no one ever did that. Yeah, I think at that time too, characters just dropped bombs because again, this was it started off as kind of Bomberman-ish, where like you just run around dropping bombs behind you. So you had to like drop bombs and then press pick up to pick them up. And so yeah, at some point I realized like the fun of the game is like throwing bombs at each other. So I kind of moved it more towards like you whip out a bomb and you're holding it. Because that would always be hard for new people too, basically saying like, okay, you got to drop a bomb, and then you press pick up, and then whatever. So it just seemed to be like, yeah, simplify it. Yeah, I think that's mostly it. Oh, there's another huge map here. This was Keep Away. Yeah, it's just like, it's kind of like a big open blah map. There's some like holes and things, but again, this was kind of like a good way to learn like what maps would be interesting. So like after this, then I made maps more, just like smaller, more focused, and more simple and stuff like that. So I found those to be kind of more interesting. But and you can see all these were just like hand painted in Photoshop, just kind of really, really crappy little simple things.